Please welcome the Pelbros Podcast.
Woo! Yeah, we're back. What's up in the his house? We are BAC to the, what's that, James?
K? What are you saying?
BAC to the K, baby. We're back, son. That's what we're doing. What is it? It's been a three-week hiatus, has it been?
Yeah, almost.
How long would you say?
Yeah, I think 3 weeks. I think 21 days last time I checked the last episode we actually uploaded. So, I mean, it felt like, it hasn't felt that long, but yeah, finally we're back. Feels good to be back.
Yeah, it has been a while, man. And don't I know you guys have all been like, all our 100 billion listeners have been like, oh my God, where are these guys? Have they died? Have they, has the coronavirus, killed them? Because coronavirus is killing small business. And, I know a few people are probably thinking, oh, is that what's happening with the Pelbros too? But nah, mate, we're just, we're quality over quantity, right? James, isn't that what we stress here? Quality over quantity?
Yeah, to be honest, there hasn't been that much newsworthy stuff in the NBA, in basketball. So we thought, yeah, let's give ourselves a break, a well-earned break. I mean, we hit that, 9 episodes? What was that stat from last week saying that, most podcasters would end by now? But yeah, after that, I think we decided to kind of celebrate, give ourselves a bit of a break.
Yeah, and here we are, episode 9, and don't even think for a second we were considering stopping, It's just, if any of you guys were actually following our Instagram, that's a quick little shout out, actually, our Instagram, at Pelbros, right? You would be seeing that we have been anything but sleeping these past 3 weeks. We've been dishing out even better content, to keep these people, to keep these lovely gentlemen and ladies entertained during this entire shortage or I guess outage of sports, right? Professional and basketball in America, correct?
Yeah, definitely. And I think we've still got a lot of content ideas coming through. So, we're still going to be recording episodes. We've still got a couple more fun things to do, and a few more interesting episodes to go.
Yeah, many fun things, including today's episode. Before we jump into things, but yeah, today's episode we're actually going to be doing a all-time mock draft, like a fantasy draft, right? Which seems the Pelbros fantasy draft. Can we call it that?
Yeah, sounds good. That perfectly sums it up. So we'll just go, back and forth, picking our players from, I guess, all-time New Orleans franchise. So both, Hornets and Pelicans players. And we're going to make both our starting 5, possibly a bench if we have some time, and then see what the results are and who ends up with the better team.
Oh yeah, and at the very end of all that, we're actually going to have we're actually going to do a playoff series. We're actually going to have a best of 7 series and see who actually does win. So, yeah, we will see who does have the better team, Mr. James. All right, anyways, though, before we jump into all that, let's do a bit of housekeeping, right? The same as always, I was hinting at it before, Pelbros on Instagram. If you guys aren't on that and you guys listen to the show, I don't know what you guys are doing. It's usually the other way around. We got our Instagram is blowing up. We've actually hit the 200 follower milestone, but we don't want to make any shout outs just yet because we're going to wait for 250 and then we're going to do some shout outs. All right, so we got Pelbros on Instagram, pelbros.com for everything you need. We got our own website, we're official. What can I say, right? There's that. Am I missing anything else? Oh yeah, YouTube. Just type in Pelbros on YouTube, Pelbros Podcast on YouTube. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, baby. And obviously you can find us on everything, right? Spotify, Apple Podcast, everything else, Pocket Cast, You just go to pelbros.com, you can find it all, right?
Yeah, go to the website, you can find everything, and you can find our contact details and our email there as well.
Yeah, and the email is
pelbrospodcast@gmail.com. So hit us up.
Yo, see, this is like a little revision test I was just doing to make sure we're still sharp and saying that shit.
I feel like that was perfect timing as well. I didn't know whether you were waiting for me you're going to let me, say it, or whether you were going to announce it, but yeah, perfect timing.
Yeah, that's what I do, bro. It's alley-oop, straight to alley-oop, man. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it, isn't it?
Let's get started.
Yeah, let's get started. So, all right, so how we're going to get started is because who is going to get the first draft pick, right? So this entire draft pick, we're actually going to do the starting 5 and a bench 5, right? So overall, we're going to have like a 10v10 situation here. So to see who begins though, okay, James, because I'm a baller, I only have $2 coins on me and 50-cent coins. What would you prefer?
Oh man, you don't have any other coins? Let's do 50.
No, all right, 50 cents. All right, 50 cents.
And just quickly, before we go ahead, just want to say we're going to do, we're picking players based on their time in the Pelicans or in the New Orleans franchise. So, not outside of if they've played for other teams. We're looking at people, players and their skills and their kind of I guess their level of play during that time in New Orleans.
Yeah, as opposed to like saying like, okay, Rondo, he was pretty decent with us, right? But as opposed to saying, okay, Rondo because he got a championship in Boston Celtics, because that does not affect us at all. Just as an example, not that I have my eyes on Rondo or anything, but all right. Anyways, though, we've got the magical coin here, 50 cents coin, and so what do you call, mate?
No, I called the coin, so you call for this one.
I'll call heads. I'm call heads. So if it's heads, I start. If it's tails, you start. You ready?
Sounds good.
And you're happy that I did a flip and then catch and then flip again. Is that cool?
Yep, I trust you.
All right. Here it goes. All right, about to flip. It is heads. Nigga. Oh, whoops.
I trust that. I trust it.
That's what we do. All right. Heads, baby. Let's do this. All right. Shit, bro. I wasn't expecting that. Okay, we're actually getting into this, aren't we? Oh shit. All right. Let me get my documents out here. All right. Number 1 pick. Who should I go with? All right. Obviously, I got my favorites here, but at the same time, I want to make a killer team. And if we're starting with number 1 pick, I'm gonna go probably with like a PG also, right?
Ooh.
And on top of that, we have also actually put up that post on our Instagram, Pelbros on Instagram, if you haven't seen it. And we kind of did decide who is. Oh, we've also put up on YouTube too. Who is our favorite? Who is our all-time number 1 draft pick? Of New Orleans franchise. So obviously, we're going off of that. I'm gonna have to go with none other than my boy CP3, Chris Paul. He is obviously I've got him down for the PG position, so I've got CP3 as number 1. All right. So his time in New Orleans, he was averaging 18. Sorry. Yeah, I guess like his entire career within New Orleans, 18.7 points. So let's round it up to 19. 19 points, 4 rebounds. Yeah, that's cool. But like pretty much 10 assists. So I'm just saying, CP3, people call him a point guard, maybe even the greatest PG in the game still right now. But definitely when he was in his prime, I don't know. People can still say, what do you say about CP3? Would you say he's still in his prime, or he's definitely on the downhill, right? But
he's definitely. I mean, it still seems like he's playing at a high level. I can't say he's in his prime. I feel like his prime is probably later in of the Hornets as well as the early days of the Clippers. But yeah, I actually had a feeling that you would pick him. So it was toss up between him and someone else. But yeah, I think that's a great choice.
My last thing I was going to say about CP3 too, especially why like during his time in New Orleans, because I think I did touch on this before, but now I actually done my research a bit. I'm like, I know my shit when it comes to it. CP3, okay, so yeah, that season that Kobe actually got the MVP, right? The only season Kobe got the MVP, RIP to my boy. CP3 was actually the other person who was in the running of that MVP race. And basically, think about the team we have. This is New Orleans Pelicans, right? We're only like just getting into the Western Conference playoffs, right? CP3, obviously though, this is during a time. Obviously, nowadays, the West is just completely stacked versus back in the day. But during that season, I think it was 2008. Don't quote me if I'm wrong or right, whatever. But 2008, let's assume, right? CP3 actually carried this the New Orleans Hornets at the time to the second place in the entire, Western Conference, just behind the Lakers, just by one game. Just by one game. You know what I mean? Can you imagine seeing that right now? Like, New Orleans, like, in second seed, you know what I mean? Like it's insane, man. So I think that itself is just already like such a huge G up. And what can I say, baby? Currently, I'm wearing my new attire, a white OG like pinstripes CP3 jersey. So and that's New Orleans Hornets. Sorry. So what can I say? Representing my boy number 1 CP3. Lock it in. What you got? It's
a good pick. I'm not gonna lie, I would probably toss up whether I'd pick CP3 as my first pick if I had it.
Yeah.
So anyways, with my first pick, which would be the second pick overall, big men are dime a dozen, and we do have quite a few, but you're not gonna be able to. You got a lot of generational talents out there, and you need to pick them when you get the opportunity. So for my first pick, I'm gonna go with Anthony Davis.
Oy,
I think that's pretty straightforward. Probably one of the best players our franchise has ever had. Maybe first or second. Tied with CP3 up there, I think. Averaging 24 points when he was here, 10 rebounds, generational talent. He's killing it at the Lakers at the moment. But he killed it with us when he was with us. Especially in that 2017-2018 season where we made playoff push, we averaged almost 29 points Had a few seasons where he was blocks leader throughout the season and pretty much almost defensive player of the year. So yeah, that's easy pick for me. I'm gonna leave it at that. Anthony Davis.
Right, yeah. All right. So if you're going with AD, which I was kind of thinking you would, it's a tough one for me, but
no, I think it's obvious.
True.
I think it's obvious.
Yeah, I know. It is true though. We have so much big men. When I was going through this list, we have like actually a huge like pool of talent when it comes to big men. So even if you don't get the best big men, you'll still get pretty decent big men, right? But obviously, I got to go for probably the best big man we had in this entire freaking what is it? I guess it's in the entire like history of our franchise, right? Obviously, AD is pretty good, but I'm just saying, where was AD? Where was AD? When shit was going down. I'm just saying there was only one man stepping up in the 2017 to 18 season, right? And that's my boy Boogie Cousins, DeMarcus Cousins. Wearing number 0 usually, like with us at least. I'm usually wearing his jersey, but currently today I'm representing CP3. So let me just quickly write that down. Number 2, I got Boogie. So yeah, Boogie. What can I say about Boogie, man? Boogie at the time, he was playing for us, arguably the best center in the league. Obviously he's had a. That's the thing. That's what's so shitty. I still remember that Australia Day party at mine. Remember, James? And then the day after, I was watching the game with my girlfriend at the time. Fuck, no, I can't carry on. Can we cancel this episode, bro? Cut.
That's bonus content. That's bonus content episode at this stage.
Anyways, I was watching it though, right? The game, and I was like, bro, this is a freaking mad game. This is a sick game, etc. And then Boogie. And Boogie, makes his free throws, and then we're like, okay, we're sweet, and then he misses the second, I think it was the second free throw or the third, I can't remember what it was, right? But he misses the free throw, and he doesn't need to go for it. He doesn't need to hustle for it because, we've already got the game in the bag, right? But he goes for it, and going for it is what ends up, giving him the entire, was it ACL? Achilles, sorry, right? Achilles injury, and yeah, my man went down, and then I guess, ever since then, he jumped on to Golden State Warriors, and a lot of people want to be like, oh, Boogie's a bitch. But, respect the hustle, son. Like, it's a business here, son. Like, so let the man do what he want to do. He already did. He gave his heart out for New Orleans, right? And he came from Sacramento. Even the people in Sacramento, got love for him too. So, Boogie, I might be one of the last few people here, but, mad love to you, son. You're my second pick. I would pick you number 1, honestly, but I had to be a bit smart here, get CP3 on me. But I got CP3, Boogie. I don't even care what you got next. So, yeah, that's me when it comes to Boogie. What you got, son?
Yeah, I'll be quick, but probably the best center when he was playing in the Pelicans at the time across the league. Yeah, it's a shame that he unfortunately got injured there. So, if we're going by players during their time at the Pelicans, you could say he was the best center, or you could say he was injured. But anyways, let's leave it at that.
Right, yeah.
So my second pick, third pick, it'd be fourth pick overall.
Yeah.
Again, this is a tough choice, but I did anticipate that you'd pick CP3 and DeMarcus. Obviously, I didn't know which one you'd go first.
Yeah.
So in this case, I'm going to go with another forward, another big man, probably another generational talent to come. Only has played 19 games for us this season, but give me him, Zion Williamson.
All right.
So I think don't need to justify this pick, but we've seen what he can do, putting up 24 points, 7 rebounds, shooting 59% from the field, and he's only, I think, 19 years old. So I think that's an easy pick for me. Again, spacing might not be that great in my starting 5, but when you've got a pick of Zion and AD,
that's next level.
Yeah,
next level.
I guess, that's a strong offensive weapon right there. So yeah, I'll leave it at that. Zion Williamson's my next pick.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go straight into it then. Number 3, because it's still available. I'm gonna go for just so you guys know, out of our entire franchise history, in terms of people that were with us, points per game, on average per season, number 1 was Boogie, right? Boogie Cousins. And number 2 is obviously the person I'm going to pick for my number 3 is Brandon Ingram. BI is averaging, is having a killer season right now. Obviously, he's only, he hasn't played just 19 games, but I don't know exactly the number, but he's been playing this entire season for us. And if anything, we wouldn't be in this entire playoff push or playoff question right now if it wasn't for my boy BI. So BI is my number 3. Let me Write that down. So yeah, BI is currently averaging 24.3 points per game. Obviously, that number was 25, maybe even 25 over before Zion came on. But obviously, Zion has come, so he's had to kind of adjust his role a bit. And yeah, he's been killing it. What can I say? Around 25 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists. This guy is a mean man from 3. Also, I think he's doing 38% from 3 right now. So he's actually doing good. He's only going to get better. So as if I wouldn't get him. And I think he'd be a pretty good combo next to Boogie too, especially if you got AD. That's totally fine with me. So I've got BI as my number 3 pick. Is there something else I would like to say? No, I mean, he's a G. What can I say? I got to pick him.
Yeah, I actually had BI, considering picking him for my second pick. But again, it was a toss-up between Zion versus BI, and they're both great players. They're all-stars. Well, I mean, BI's an all-star this season. Zion, I think, will be a future all-star.
BI's an all-star, yeah.
But, I think it's a great pick, and I honestly would have considered BI as well. It's hard to toss-up between him and Zion.
Yeah, no, and honestly, though, if I was in a position, I probably would have gone for Zion, so that's cool.
All right, cool. Then I'll just get straight into it. Not much more to be said. So my third pick, so this is a tough one, but man, I got a lot of bias in my team, and I'm picking guys that I really like as well.
I think I know who it is.
Except maybe not AD. Shout out to AD and the hate. But yeah, I'm gonna have to go with the OG. My favorite all-time player, and I think honestly, I mean, I say his skill level and his stats may not show that he's possibly the best player for the franchise, for the New Orleans franchise. But I mean, he's probably up there for how long he's been here, how long he's stuck it out, his veteran leadership. So that's got to be my boy Drew Holiday. He's averaging around 18 points, 4 rebounds. I think he can play my point guard, but depending on if I pick another point guard, but we'll see. But I think he can also play that role of facilitating. So we've already got big scorers. We've got AD and Zion who can score. I don't really need Drew to score in this situation. He can elevate his assist all the way up from, six assists per game from one season to around eight assists in his I guess best season of passing the ball. So I know he can do that. He can do everything across the floor. And right now I just kind of need more defense as well. So that's my pick, Drew Holiday.
All right, fair enough. Well, okay, that case, my number 4 pick. So yeah, I'm trying to make it so like I got like a starting 5 that kind of makes sense, I guess. Obviously I'm no expert when it comes to spacing and all that bullshit, but I'm just gonna go for this guy because he's a G, and the little time that he did play with us in the New Orleans Pelicans, he was killing it, right? So I'm just gonna cut the bullshit. I'm going for Julius Randle. I'm gonna pick Julius Randle.
Interesting.
Yeah,
did not expect that. Actually, I did not expect that.
Yeah, because I've got Boogie. Boogie as the main big man, right? And then I'd have Julius Randle on probably the power forward position, or maybe let him switch, see what works the best, and then Bi on the what's it called, small forward kind of position, and CP3 at PG obviously. So Julius Randle, yeah, my man. What's it called? I think he was top 5. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. 4. Yeah, he's actually the 5th. He actually has the 5th amount of what's it called, points in terms of like ranking, right? He had 21.4 points with us in his one season with us, 8.7 rebounds, what a G, and 3 assists. Yeah, because I do forget about that lost season we had. Julius Randle, Elfrid Payton, etc. And yeah, we were doing quite well. It's just that Elfrid Payton got injured. Boys just kept getting injured. But throughout that entire kind of season, Julius Randle, still kept killing it. So that was really good. I think he developed his game from Lakers, and then to come to us, he really developed his game, and now he is kind of wasting his career with the Knicks. But man's gonna
that's perfect summary right there.
Yeah, man's gonna make some money, so it's cool. So that's me, Julius Randle, number 4. What you got, player?
Yeah, to be honest, completely understandable pick. I think I completely respect Julius Randle. He actually came here. And he pretty much played in a contract year where he was looking for his next big payday. Obviously, only spent a year here, but he bought out. So I actually quite like that pick.
He put in the work.
Yeah, I think it's easily forgotten. And like you said, you forgot about last season, and I don't blame you because man, that was a pretty shocking season where we didn't do very well, and the whole AD saga happened.
Yeah.
But anyways, okay, cool. So with my 4th pick, let's change things up a bit, but Yeah, I'm looking for, I guess, more shooting, and I do kind of need to fill a small forward role. So I'm going to go with an OG. And again, I haven't seen much of his play, but I'm going to go with Jamal Mashburn. So he's an OG of the New Orleans Hornets back in the around 2003 to 2005 days. But he's a small forward, putting up around 22 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists. I think my team might suffer a bit from spacing, but hopefully I got enough offensive firepower to make up for it. But he's shooting 37% from 3-point back in the day, so it's not that bad. But yeah, I'm going to go with him because I've pretty much got all 20 point average players now. So that's my 4th pick. I'm filling in my small forward spot.
All right. Well, that's the thing. My 5th kind of thing. It's just solely because my 5th pick solely because I want a really good shooter. Right? It's not necessarily I think he's maybe the best shooting guard that we've ever had, or best guard we've ever had, or et cetera, et cetera. But this guy is undeniably probably one of the greatest 3-point shooters currently in the league, and if not all time, right? This guy's a professional, comes to work, is a veteran right now too. He's currently in our team, just so you guys know who it is. And yeah, it's obviously, and he has a podcast too, in which I fuck with, but I just really don't like the guest like the co-host. Like, he's alright sometimes, but sometimes it's just like, dude, like, come on, right? Like, come on, like, you don't need to. No. Don't laugh. We're not like talking with you. We came to listen to JJ Redick and Drew Holiday. We didn't come to listen to JJ Redick, Drew Holiday, and insignificant fucking person. All right. Anyways, that's just me being salty. All right. Anyways, obviously my boy JJ Redick. I'm gonna put JJ Redick for my 5th pick, baby. Obviously, like I said, probably one of the greatest 3-point shooters. Gives us 15 points. 15 points, okay, boards-wise, whatever, 2.6, 2 assists, whatever. But, this man is a go-to bucket, right? He even gave us that game winner versus Sacramento, which wasn't necessarily a 3-pointer, but this man's got plays. So, yeah, you've got Drew, and so I'm just going to take JJ Redick just because I think that's going to be a deadly starting 5. CP3, JJ Redick, ready for the 3. BI even. Boogie even ready for the 3. And then we got Julius Randle too. So I think I'm happy with our starting 5. What you got?
Yeah, so I actually considered JJ Redick because I knew I desperately needed shooting, especially for the 3-point and spacing. So I think that's a great pick. But anyways, so I'll round out my starting 5 with my 5th pick. And I'm going to go another OG. Again, didn't play for our franchise that long, but I'm going to go for Baron Davis.
Oh, son.
So played from 2003 to 2005. I'm going to put him in sort of my point guard or shooting guard role. I think him and Drew can kind of mix it up. They can figure out their roles, figure out who prefers to be in what. I think, again, he's not the greatest 3-point shooter, and my team will kind of suffer from shooting in general. That means I need to rely on, Drew, Zion shooting threes, which isn't great. But again, I've got all the offensive firepower in the world. So yeah, I'm going to go round up my team with Baron Davis. So just summarizing mine, I've got Anthony Davis playing center, Zion, my power forward, Jamal Mashburn, and rounding it out with Drew and Baron Davis.
Yeah, you know what? I was actually going to take Baron Davis as like maybe my bench. Not bench. I was going to say bench BG. I was going to say as my bench PG, right? Yeah, because I actually did a bit of research on him. Yeah, man, this guy's a G. Although he didn't necessarily play too much with New Orleans Hornets, he did play like a bunch of seasons with like Hornets in general, because we were Charlotte. Like he was actually like an OG. He was actually here when they got relocated from Charlotte to New Orleans. So, and I think that like a few interesting facts about him. Every time, like in which I'm crediting your pick here, right? Every time he was with us, I think he was with like the franchise, not necessarily New Orleans, but the Hornets franchise for 5 seasons, I think it was. And in each of those 5 seasons, they made the playoffs, right? And he also carried them a bit. But obviously, this was a time when we were still located in the Eastern Conference. So there's that. And then on top of that, though, the most interesting thing I read was apparently Allen Iverson, right? He actually says that Baron Davis was his toughest ever defensive assignment. So it's quite an interesting pick, mate. I must tip my hat to you. Touche, sir.
Damn, that's massive props if he's played against guys like Kobe as well, T-Mac and stuff like that. So, yeah. Baron Davis, explosive, hyper athletic, back in his prime. unfortunately, he got injured, and especially around the time he was playing for New Orleans specifically. But like you said, played for Charlotte. So, that rounds up my top 5. Just hope there's no injuries. That's all I got.
Right.
Assuming no injuries. I think we both got very solid, very strong teams.
Yeah. All right. Okay. I'm gonna just quickly. So I'm thinking about how I should play this entire bench situation. All right. So my first pick, or I guess my sixth pick in general, but obviously we're talking about the bench now. I'm gonna go for. Should I go for a guard? No. All right, I'm gonna go for a big man. I might shoddy. You know what? Yeah. All right. I'm gonna shoddy D Faves.
Oh, early on. Interesting.
Yeah, Derek Favors. Okay, 9.2. Okay, pretty much this guy's always giving me like a 10-10, like a double-double a game, like a solid 10-10. Obviously, he's only played like less than a season with us, but he's been good. And when he wasn't, when he was injured or when he was dealing with his mom dying, RIP, we were getting fucking pumped. That's the entire time we had that 13 lose streak, the greatest loss streak of New Orleans Pelicans history, for fuck's sake. So obviously D-Faves is like a big glue. He's a solid player, and if we were to have because my starting 5 already has Boogie and Julius Randle, I think D-Faves is like a solid backup center. So I'm gonna get D-Faves. I think that's enough said, to be honest. Yeah, Derek Favors is my sixth pick or first pick for the bench. What you got?
Yeah, you definitely have some strong rebounding. So I mean, I have to kind of make up for it with my bench. But yeah, again, there's a lot of guys on the board, so I don't blame you for taking some consideration with your next pick. So for my first guy on my bench, my sixth pick, I'm gonna go with another OG. And he had a great time here at New Orleans. Played alongside Chris Paul in what was kind of, I guess, your original point guard, power forward / center pairing and duo. So I'm going to pick David West. So he's going to be my enforcer, my guy that's going to, I guess, match up with possibly D-Faves when we're playing the bench. 16 points, 7 rebounds while he was here. Played some of his best basketball here, and honestly, all he wanted to do was win. So I think he'll bring that grittiness and that toughness that I kind of need to the team. Doesn't bring much spacing, but I think I got my mid-range game on point with this team.
Yeah, that's cool, baby. The D West is a solid pick, to be honest. I chose D Faves also. Actually, now I think about it, I feel as if chemistry wise, his personality would be better suited with alongside like Boogie and Julius Randle. You know what I mean? Like he would be more than happy to kind of just be the cunt starting off the bench, because that's what he was doing in Utah anyway. So like, you get what I'm trying to say? Like he won't necessarily have his great numbers, but he'll do his job. He'll do his job right. That's kind of why I chose him. David West, I don't know. I'm not like a full on thinger, but yeah, it's a good pick. I'm not gonna talk shit. All right. Let me think about this. Number 2. All right. So my 7th pick overall, I'm gonna go with. All right, give me a second. All right. We should have like the timer thing. You know how like the NBA draft and then
I guess 15 seconds.
Yeah. And then like we got David Stern.
No, take your time. There's a lot of guys still on the board and still trying to figure out what to do with the team. But yeah, definitely a lot of options to go with, and you can't be wrong.
Red out. I mean, I should have just picked this guy first, but. All right, whatever. I'm going to get him. I'm going to pick him. Yeah, I'm going to pick him just because, like, he's a G. I'm going to go for Mirotic, man.
Damn, that was my next pick.
Yeah. Dude, I've got, like, a heavy big man, like, rotation, right? Mirotic, obviously, when Boogie got injured, Mirotic was the man that we got from Chicago. And, we developed that man into a deadly three-point shooter. If not only that, just in general, this guy, he was part of the team that swept the Blazers. He obviously, we're talking about Mirotic when he shaves only, right? Remember there's that entire thing about if he shaves, then it's like he's God mode. Yeah. Pretty much. That is what happened with Mirotic. So yeah, man, Mirotic, he's like a solid off the bench kind of shooting threes and shit. I think that's a very solid kind of lineup actually. 15.7 points, 8.2 boards. So yeah, dude, like there's not much I can say. I guess I guess he would kind of be. So I think D-Faves would maybe sub on for maybe Julius Randle, and Mirotic maybe sub on for Boogie, or I don't know, see what works around. But That's how I kind of see it. I think that would be a really deadly combination. Like, okay, you think you're done dealing with Boogie and Randall. All right, cool. D-Face and Mirotic. What you got, boy? So, yeah, that's me.
That's a good pick. I actually wanted to go with him next because I felt like I needed the spacing. But anyway, so for my 7th pick, second guy on my bench, like I mentioned, I need some 3-point shooting. Not a lot of my guys can shoot. It's another OG, I guess. I'm picking all kind of older players. But I just need him to purely shoot threes. I don't care anything else. Play defense and shoot threes. So I'm going to pick a small forward, Peja Stojakovic.
Oh, yeah, right, yeah, okay.
So shooting 40% from 3 while he was at the Hornets, New Orleans. He shot almost 553 point makes for us. Like I said, he literally just needs to shoot threes and play defense. Well respected as a very solid 3-point shooter. I believe I think he competed, or I don't know if, not 100% sure if he won, but I know he competed in a couple 3-point contests. So yeah, just needs to get the ball, shoot, and give my team spacing. So that's going to be my next pick. Over to you.
All right. Okay, so going off of that, since I've already got enough big men now, I'm going to go for a playmaker, right? I'm going to go for this guy. This guy would probably be more of like a shooting guard position for me. And I think, going off the list of who we have left over, I think this is probably the best option to go with. I'm going to go for Mr. Jordan Crawford.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So, what's it called? Obviously, people say this guy is like underrated or whatever bullshit, but yeah, I think he's quite good. He hooked it up with, what is it? He gave us 12.5 points a game, 1.6 assists, 1.6 rebounds, and three assists. So, I reckon as a shooting guard, like as a bench shooting guard, I reckon he's gonna do his role correctly. So I've pretty much got him solely as a role player, not necessarily 3-point or whatever. Just give him some points, bro. Like that's give some solid minutes. So that's why I got him. You know what? I actually got him a bit confused. Jordan Crawford is different to some other guy, right? What's it called? Justin Crawford, right?
So there's a Jamal Crawford as well.
Oh, Jamal Crawford. That's what I was, yeah. Jamal Crawford is the real baller, right?
Yeah, he's the vet. He's the vet that is a real baller, street kind of baller. But yeah, don't mix him up.
Yeah, don't mix him up. My bad. Yeah, because I was like, bro, surely this guy has better stats. But no. I'm still going with this. Although he's not Jamal Crawford, he still has that Crawford name. So respect. So I've got him there for my my bench 3.
Yeah,
who you got?
Jordan Crawford had a habit of being inconsistent and would just drop 20 plus points out of nowhere and then sort of come back to earth next game. But anyways, yeah, that interesting pick. That leaves a lot more guys on the board than I thought I'd have. So for my next pick, I've been picking bigs again for my first 2 players. So yeah, again, like you said, I need a playmaker. I need someone who can dribble the ball, bring it up. So I'm going to go with Lonzo Ball. So I had a toss-up between whether I'd pick him or a certain other point guard that I might not name. But yeah, he's growing, he's developing, especially in his time here. And I think the most impressive thing for me has been his improvement in 3-point shooting. So up to 38% now, which is better than a lot of guys in the league that you'd think were better 3-point shooters than him. But he spent a lot of time in the gym with, is it Fred or Frank Vincent? Fred Vincent, I think it is.
Fred Vincent, yeah.
Yeah, getting the shots up, doing a bit more extra gym work with BI. So I really respect the improvement in the game. And all I need him to do is, get those assists, bring the ball up the floor, play with pace, and shoot the 3. So Lonzo Ball, my 7th pick. 8th pick, sorry. 8th pick.
Alright, so I'm going to leave the PG position for last, like my backup PG for last, because I guess would you have Lonzo as a shooting guard or a PG? Or like
he's going to be my backup PG.
Backup PG, alright, just checking. So, alright, because I guess he hasn't developed to the point where he's like a god from the 3-point just yet, but he's getting there. Alright, so I'm going to go for a small forward. I'm probably going to go with... Alright, this is a bit of a toss-up. Let me just double check. Alright, as much as this guy... I'll say like my decision right now. As much as I got, love for Uncle E, the boy Etwan Moore, I'm going to go for the man who's just above him, Trevor Ariza. So, Trevor Ariza, what's it called? Obviously, this guy's a bit of a, would you call him a journeyman? No, he's a bit of a vet, I guess, right? Across the league now. We're going to Houston and then... what's it called? Who's he with right now? The Kings?
He's with
Phoenix?
I think he's with the Blazers. So he's been around a lot of teams. True. So
yeah,
he has bounced around a lot. I think one of his previous teams was the Kings actually. So I think I'm pretty sure now he's with the Blazers and he went through the trade for Bazemore.
Yeah, so sweet. So basically, During his time here at New Orleans, he gave us 10.9 points, 5.4 what's that, rebounds, and then 2.6 assists, right? So yeah, that's correct. So basically, though, why I chose him just over Etwan Moore is because he had 10.9 points, Etwan had 10.8, and then after that, boards wise, 5.4 versus 2.5, and then 2.6 versus 2. So it was a no-brainer. I had to go for Trevor Ariza, as much as I do got love for Etwan Moore, who also did, start when we had quite a not as a stacked roster as we do nowadays. I mean, Etwan Moore did even start when it comes to the playoffs too. So yeah. Anyways, I'm going for Trevor Ariza, man, when it comes to that number 4 pick. What you got for your bench 4?
All right, so there's a lot of guys still on the board, but I'm going to change up my strategy, I guess, midway. I think I had some ideas on who I pick next, but I'm going to change it up. So I've been picking a lot of OG guys, a lot of older guys who I know have had a lot of experience or a lot of I guess time or stats across the time at New Orleans. But so I'm going to go with a rook, someone new to bring in some fresh blood, modernize the game a bit, bring some energy. And I'm going to go with the center, and that's Jackson Hayes. So again, I think
it's a good pick.
Shout out to, I guess, Tyson Chandler. I was actually thinking of picking him to play my center role. But, again, I want someone hyper athletic. I want someone who might bring some fresh blood. Still got a lot to learn, and hopefully he can develop his game. Still super raw at the moment. His stats, obviously, 7 points, 4 rebounds, aren't going to show much if you're looking just purely at stats. But I'm very hopeful, and I think if I'm looking at my team in a few years, he'll definitely shine. So that's my next pick, Jackson Hayes.
Jackson Hayes. All right. So now we come to the very, very last picks here, right? So my 5th pick on the bench and my overall 10th pick, right? So this is a bit of a tough one for me because I'm going for a PG, right? And leftover PGs, out of everyone, the probably best ones is, okay, I'll just say the 2 that I'm deciding against. And I've already made my decision, but I'm going to explain it to you. I've got Rajon Rondo, and I've got, what's his face? Elfrid Payton, all right? So I know you've got a bit of a mixed feelings when it comes to Elfrid, but, the thing is, Elfrid, when he was healthy with us, the season that he was playing for us, right? We were winning games, son. Like he was dishing out assists. I think he was getting like a shitload of triple doubles and shit. I think he maybe even broke some records at the time. I don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure I remember seeing that. Anyways, Elfrid Payton, though, he was averaging 10.6 assists, 10.6 points, 5.2 boards and 7.6 assists, and he was actually doing quite good from. Oh, no, sorry, that's something else. I thought that was the 3-point. But yeah, so there's that versus Rondo. See, when it comes to Rondo, I've got so much love for Rondo. I fucking love Rondo, right? So don't get me wrong here, but Rondo, my man can't fucking shoot. Rondo, my man can't fucking,
Unless he's in the playoffs. Unless he's in the playoffs. Yeah.
Unless he's on the playoffs and somehow he just will shoot, especially if he's versing against, Portland Trailblazers, I guess. Man, this Rondo is a fucking crazy motherfucker. What was it? I think he 26 assists or something like that one game, and the entire Portland Trailblazers had like 24 or something like that. So okay, maybe not that exact number, but I remember it was like something like that. Like Rondo is a crazy motherfucker when it comes to making plays and assists. But his time in the one season he was with us, 8.3 points, 4 assists, and then 4 boards, and then 8.2 assists. Right? Obviously, that isn't necessarily taken into consideration playoff Rondo, which is a completely different fucking beast, right? Which I really fucking love. However, the thing is too, what would be amazing is because back in the day too, like back when Rondo was what's it called, like in the Celtics and shit, the argument was, okay, is it Rondo or CP3? Like they're always having constant beef. So I was like, wow, imagine if you had both of them in your fucking squad, right? Now that's fucking GG. However, these motherfuckers would clash heads hard, right? So that's why it's not good in the benefit of like, chemistry or anything like that. And on top of that, Rondo ain't gonna give me like consistent kind of points, especially if, like you said, what's it called? Jordan Crawford is already a bit of an inconsistent motherfucker too from the bench. I don't need I don't need another inconsistent motherfucker. So that's why I'm going to go for Elfrid Payton. Elfrid Payton, he's actually a NOLA native too. So Elf, I'm going for. The last thing I was going to say too is that I think he would be really good Because think of it like CP3 and Shy situation in OKC. I could see like Alfred really like kind of like learning under the wings of CP3. So yeah, I think that'd be a really fucking sick team. I, honestly, when Alfred Payton was on our team, I really did like him as a PG. If anything, I thought he was maybe a better replacement as a, like versus Rondo, because he's young, fresh blood, and on top of that, he can score like unlike Mr. Rondo. So yeah, I've got Alfred Payton as my backup PG and as my final pick overall. Who you got, player?
That's actually really surprising. So I did not expect Rajon Rondo to be the guy left over and not picked at all, but from both our teams, surprisingly, especially when we had a bench. But for my last pick, rounding out my team, my bench, so I've already got a center, a power forward, a small forward, and a point guard, which means I need a shooter. And there's a couple of, I guess, components or factors that I'm going to weigh up when it comes to this decision. So firstly, I want to shout out, I was going to pick him at one point, Tyreke Evans, but for how the rest of my makeup of my team is, I just need shooting. I'm really lacking in 3-point shooting, so Reek, you've only shot 30% from 3 when you were here, so you're off the list. And the next person I considered, so I guess another shout out, and I really wanted him, especially if we were looking at the player outside of the New Orleans franchise, like it doesn't have to be just with their time in here, and it would have been Buddy Hield. Obviously averaging almost 20 points a game with Sacramento. He won a 3-point contest, but his time at the Pelicans was not good. He only averaged, I think it was 8 points, 3 rebounds. He just came into the franchise, didn't feel like he was NBA ready yet. Took a lot of time to adjust.
Trade him to the Kings.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we were saying the whole time. Didn't really work out. So I can't have 8-point player on my bench. So in this case, and I really didn't want to pick this because, shout out to our previous video where we did our most hated video. This player ended up a top 2 on my list. I'm going to have to go with Eric Gordon.
Oh, right, yeah.
So he's going to have to fill in my small shooting guard position, and I think he'll play that role well, assuming he stays healthy. He can shoot the 3, shot 39%, made 423s while he was here. Bought out at the Rockets. We know what he can play outside of, I guess, the franchise, but even then, when he was a prolific scorer when he was here at the Hornets / Pelicans, got injured way too much, didn't really kind of pan out, but I think he'll fill a very strong role as a shooting guard coming off the bench. But I guess that just rounds out my team. So that pretty much concludes it. We've both picked a starting 5 and a bench. Maybe we should just.
Hey, look, just before we do that, though, I want to chuck in some shout-outs, too, some notable, honorable mentions, because you were dishing out all these for free. I'm like, oh, shit, son.
Go for it.
Yeah. So, obviously, the first one I want to say is this Jahlil Okafor. When he's good, when he's beasting, jaw watch, he's my boy. However, that doesn't always happen. And, yeah, what's happening right now, I guess, is Jackson Hayes is kind of like almost replacing his role in the team. No offense. Apart from that, though, who I really wanted to pick for the lols, but I would actually done it, right? But I just forgot about it because he's on the bottom of the fucking list. It's actually your number 1 most hated, Mr. Solomon Hill. The reason why I wanted to actually pick Solomon Hill, right, is because, okay, this is a shout out. I didn't pick him, but why? I was actually if anything, I was gonna think of trolling. I was gonna be at the very beginning. My number 1 pick is Solo, but I totally forgot about it. I actually wanted to pick him, but honorable mention. Why? Because I feel as if during his time here in New Orleans, we were too harsh to him, to poor old Solo. My man's just trying to, make enough money to put food on the table for his family and shit, And if anything, I feel as if we don't appreciate what his real role was in the team, right? His real role wasn't being the, person wearing number 44 going out onto the basketball court and being like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? That wasn't his real role. His real role was when times are tough, when times aren't going right, we look for someone to blame, right? And Alvin can only take so much, right? So that's what I'm trying to say. We need to kind of respect what Solo's real role was. It was, he was like the kind of scapegoat for a lot of our own insecurities, our own frustrations, et cetera, et cetera. So that's why I gotta have a big shout out for Solomon Hill. I'm
actually glad you went down that path, because I was actually thinking that you were going to try and defend him, and I was just going to say, man, did Solomon Hill just call up and threaten your family to kill your family or something? Did you not check out our last video, most hated? We were dishing it out to him. So I'm just wondering where this came from. But I'm glad you went down that path, scapegoat.
Yeah.
Completely
Yeah,
agree.
yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's kind of like a bit of the unappreciated hero. He's like the unsung hero, you know? Like, he was only with us for a little bit of time. He wasn't being like any kind of drama queen like Eric Gordon or something like that, you know? He tried to play for us, I guess. But with that though, right? We got to see that, right? Like, you always need that like one guy to kind of be like, dude, fuck you. You know what I mean? So I feel as if having that guy on the bench, it's just like everyone else in the team can be like, okay, sweet. It's not my fault. It's Solo's fault. You know what I mean? And like everyone watching the game can be like, okay, nah, it's not because AD is a little bitch. It's not because, you know, this and that, It's because I'm fucking Solo. Trade Solo, shit contract, etc., etc. But anyways, that's a very, very brief. I just needed to actually give a shout out to Solomon Hill because, yeah, let's appreciate his real role, guys. And that is, yeah, the role of a scapegoat. Like, when times are tough, we need someone to blame. We need someone to, like, you know, throw the blame onto. So that's what Solomon Hill is. And because of that, I don't think he gets enough love that he should. If anything, I might be a fuckwit and like post something about Solomon Hill on an Instagram later. But
this is the only love that he's getting from any Pelicans fans.
yeah. All right, but the thing is, if I post that, it's gonna get like we're gonna get like 100 billion like unfollows. Like, everyone's gonna be like, no, fuck you, blocked and everything like that. All right. So, all right. Anyways, that's me. Let's quickly go through our entire roster before we, you know, go head to head here, right? So, I'll go through mine first, if that's cool, baby. All right. So, my starting five: CP3, JJ Redick, BI, Brandon Migger, obviously, and then Julius Randle, and then I've got DeMarcus Cousins, aka Boogie. What's your starting five, lad?
So again, starting from point guard, I'm gonna slot in Baron Davis in my point guard role.
Yeah.
Drew will play as shooting guard. Then I got Jamal Mashburn, Zion at power forward, and then rounding it out with Anthony Davis.
All right, and then on the bench, baby. So on the bench, I have Derek Favors, obviously a big man. Nikola Mirotic, obviously another big man who's still killing it right now in Barcelona. And then Jordan Crawford. You know, that's kind of like a half. You know, I was hoping he was Jamal Crawford, but you know, I'll do with what I got. And then Trevor Ariza, and then finally Alfred Payton as the backup PG.
Yeah, so my bench is Lonzo Ball in the point guard, Eric Gordon, Peja Stojakovic, David West, and rounding it out with Jackson Hayes.
All right, cool, baby. So let's do this. So, you know, we've got our teams, and now we're meeting in the playoffs, a best of 7 series. So you're still happy with the same calls that I had before, that I've got heads and you've got tails?
Yeah, let's leave it at that.
All right, so yeah, this is how we're doing it. We've like to, you know, to simulate what a playoff series between these games would be, to see who is the best. We've actually created a completely complex, you know, data driven, what's it called, fantasy simulated kind of whatever bullshit, right, to produce you with the most accurate results, and that is a coin toss, right? So we're gonna do the same thing we're doing at the beginning. So here goes. We're gonna do this best of 7, so that means first to 4, right? You ready, baby?
Yep, let's do it.
All right, first flip. Let's go. Game 1. Game 1 goes to heads. That's me.
Oh,
That's
mate,
me. Right,
I don't know if I trust this.
Hey. Do you want to change the $2 coin? We can.
No. Stick to it.
All right.
Game 2. Come on, give me game 2.
Game 2. All right. Oi, tails.
Ooh.
All right.
1-1.
Yeah, track this. All right. Game 3. Sorry, that was a fuck up flip. Let me do that again.
Hey, make sure you catch it, yeah?
Yeah, I fucked it up just then. All right. Oh, tails.
Oh, yes, with a 2-1 lead. James's team, 2-1 lead going into the playoffs.
All right. Stay cool, Ryan. Stay cool.
Pressure's on, mate.
All right. Fuck's sake. All right, I'm just gonna pick it up and see what it was on the ground. It is. Oh, tails.
Yes.
Okay.
3-1 lead.
Oh, red on. Can I come back? All right.
I don't want to be the Golden State Warriors. I don't want to blow a 3-1 lead. Come on.
Let's do it.
Let's just need one more win.
Come on, player. What you got? Yes, heads.
Ooh.
Oh, the comeback is on. Here.
3-2.
All right, let's do it.
One more.
All right, what's it? Oh, shit. That's completely fucked up. Sorry, I'm going to do it again.
Oh, that's probably tails, isn't it?
Nah, I didn't even see it. All right, 3, 2, 1. It seems the person that was a bit luckier today, not the better team at all, but it seems the luckier team won today, and that is obviously Mr. James's team because you just got your final tails. So yeah, overall in our playoff series, it seems that we went 4-2.
Yes, winner, chicken dinner.
Oh fuck!
NBA championship, first one for.
I'm just saying that was
first one for the franchise.
Yeah, first one for the franchise. I'm just saying, man, that's quite fucking exhilarating, man. I'm like, fucking... I feel as if that coin toss is actually much more exciting than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, we got to do more of these, eh? We start coin flips for everything.
Yeah. Freaking started with the Macca's thing, and now here we are. But, yeah, so that pretty much sums it all up. Like I said, we had this entire, what's called, fantasy draft, I guess, lineup versus each other, and... Unfortunately, in a playoff series, it seems as if James's team has beaten my team 4-2. So, that's what the Lord has willed. So I ain't even gonna hate. Because I already know what the truth is. So let's just leave it at that.
Yeah, let's wrap it up. So I think that was actually pretty fun episode to do. But I think most importantly, we'll have this episode up, but we'll also put up on our Instagram at Pelbros the different teams, right? So there's both the starting five and the bench, and we just want you guys show us some love and also comment. Let us know which team is better, James's team, my starting five on my bench, or Ryan's team. So we'll put up the post. We'll have each of the players in their positions, and definitely let us know. Reach out. Who do we miss as well? I think there's a few players that don't get offended if we missed their favorite player, but they just didn't make our cut in our mock draft.
And that's the game, son. That's the game. It's a cruel world out here, son. It's a cruel world. Dog-eat-dog world here, son. So if you're getting all, like, your panties in a twist over that, you got a lot of shit coming for you in life, bro. That's what I'm going to say, bro. That's what I'm going to say. All right, we can leave it at that if you'd like, Mr. James.
Yeah, let's wrap it up then.
All right. So, yeah, pelbros.com, obviously, for everything. pelbrospodcast@gmail.com if you want to holla us, find us on YouTube too, because that's what we do. We're content creators, and obviously we've been saying it 100 times. Pelbros on Instagram, and you can listen to us wherever the fuck you wanna. Bro. But apart from that, I think that wraps up a fantastic episode 9. What's called the Pelbros fantasy draft, all-time fantasy draft pick, right? I think it's quite a good episode, and like I said, although we were gone for 3 weeks, hopefully we'll come back and provide you with more goodies, good content. So I think that's enough bullshit I can spit from the top of my dome right now. So shall we call it?
Yeah, thanks for listening, everyone. Pelbros checking out.
All right, later.
Peace.